everybody. Happy Hallows Eve. Happy Monday, October 31st, 2022. You're at Mosaic Maria vlog. I am Maria. Today I'm sharing a soup recipe, slow cooker. It's kind of like a dump and go. Just dump everything in and let it go. I varied from a recipe I found at Classy Cooking. It is called Slow Cooker Loaded Potato Soup. Classy Cooking 2022. Or Cooking Classy, I'm sorry. So this recipe calls for actually 6 to 8 medium to large size russet potatoes. I had 3, so my recipe got cut down and I made some variations. So if you have that many, like 3 to 3.5 pounds of russet potato, it'll come up to 8 or 9 cups if you chop down your potatoes in bite-size 1/2 to 1/3 inch pieces, or 1/2 to 3/4 bite-size. Just peel, wash your potatoes, chop them down, throw them into some cold water. Meanwhile, chop down a yellow medium onion. And all this recipe calls for, as it is going into the slow cooker, is your onion and your potato, and then 3 cans of low sodium chicken broth, 14.5 ounce. I had 1 can of Wegmans low sodium chicken broth, and that comes to 14.5 ounces of 1,030 milligrams for 1 can. So I used one 14.5 ounce can of the Wegmans brand, and then I used a packet of Goya reduced sodium, and that makes 2 cups with 2 cups of water. And then I used 1 packet of Herb Ox sodium free. So I got about 2.5 cups out of the can of water, and then 3 cups of water. So 5-6 cups of water is in there with my liquids. It doesn't call for carrot or celery, but I added 2 celery stalks chopped down and 3 carrots. I cooked pasta and broccoli yesterday because I like to cook that on Sundays, and I added some cauliflower to it, so I had some leftover cauliflower and broccoli. I also had 5 or 6 Bella mushrooms left in my refrigerator, and I had about 3 slices of fat-free Wegmans deli ham, and 3 slices of Wegmans deli roast beef, seasoned roast beef. So I chopped down my roast beef, my ham, and I sauteed my onion with my mushroom with that on the stove. And then put that into about 2 hours into the cooking time, I dumped that in with my leftover cauliflower and broccoli. And the mushrooms, the cauliflower, the broccoli, the potato, it really is a loaded potato soup already. You can mash this down once you get a fork into your potato, and slide it back out like that. It's done. So this recipe calls for 3.5 cups of shredded cheese. At the end, it calls for 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, 9 ounces of bacon cooked and diced and crumbled, 4 green onions sliced, and 1/2 cup of sour cream. I don't want to do all that. It does call for a cup of evaporated milk. I had just bought a can, so I used about maybe 3/4, not even, of a cup of evaporated milk. I don't want to put the cheese in at the end, or the sour cream, or bacon, because I already have roast beef and ham and broccoli and cauliflower in there. It's pretty loaded up. But what it does call for you to do is to take a third of, take like about 2 ladles of your liquid out when you get to about 1 to 2 hours before it's done. Take 2 cups of your liquid out, put it in a little container on the side, and on the stove, cook up 1/3 of a cup of butter, 1/3 of a cup of margarine, about 2 minutes till you cook the flour out. Add your liquid that you put aside to it, make like a slurry out of it, pour it back in. That will thicken your soup. And if you're making this for meal prepping, I don't like to put the cheese in if I'm meal prepping. So I will like decide, do I want a little cheese on top of it? Or do I want a little dollop of sour cream? Or maybe I want bacon bits, but probably not because I've got the roast beef in there. I'm going to mash this down. You can use a blender or you can use a emulsifier if you have one of those blenders. And you can add more water to it as it thickens. Or you could do a cornstarch slurry. Take some of your liquid, put your cornstarch in, shake it up. Either way, it's going to turn out beautiful. Because I didn't use, I didn't salt it. I did pepper it. I did put some crushed hot pepper in because I like the heat. Because I didn't put the cheese in it, I did add a good layer of sweet paprika, which gave me that color. Okay, cauliflower, broccoli, mushrooms, onion, carrots, celery, chicken broth, potatoes. Pretty loaded up as it is, and pretty darn delicious. But you could add your sour cream at the end, your last hour, and your bacon and your green onions. I'm probably going to add a little bit of my green onion. I've got some scallions, so I'm going to throw it in there. Or I might just garnish with it as I go. That's my recipe that I'm sharing today. I'm just going to work on thickening it up now and letting it cook the rest of the time. And it's a really handy-dandy, lovely variation of a loaded baked potato soup by cookingclassy.com. I hope you'll try this. I've got a nice kind of chilly, damp. I'm freezing today. I don't know why I'm so cold, but I don't feel good. I'm like cold, and I just can't get warm. Which is unusual for me because I'm usually sweating. But I have a sore throat too, and I don't feel good. So I love soup, but if I'm not feeling good, I want soup. So I'm gonna give myself some hearty soup and call it a day. Have a nice day. Have a safe Halloween, everyone. I'll tell you some creepy stories later in the week having to do with my spirit totem, which is the wasp. And I won't talk about it now, but I'll talk about it later in the week. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.